Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast Channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Bi-Weekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well. Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.
How about last month or last meeting's minutes? Anybody have anything they want to add or change?
Looked good.
Okay, so someone makes.
I make a motion to accept last meeting's minutes.
I second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Unanimous. Okay, so talking possibly about moving the meeting. So what would, you want me to send an email? What would be the best?
Do we need to do roll call?
Oh, a roll call. Oh, I didn't know we had to do that. Okay.
I think Nico needs to say.
Oh,
these.
yes. Sorry, Nico. Okay, so Scott, Florence, Mary Page, Marissa, Dave, and Nico is here via Zoom. Is that correct?
I'm here, Madam Chair, via Zoom because I'm unable to physically be there and I am here alone in the room.
Thank you. Okay. All right. So, yeah, what is the best way for us to figure out to move the meeting? Just send an email to everyone?
Yeah, well, I think we need to first
Pam.
see, an email to Pam and see what's available. It sounds like fourth Tuesdays. Everybody that's here, does Tuesdays still work? I mean, it seems like that's the best night of the week for everybody.
It wasn't for, Tony seems to be busy, so I'm not really sure. Well, we'll find out when I email.
Okay.
Well, he's not open on Tuesday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Tuesdays are good for him. Wednesdays are not.
As long as, I think Nico's right, rec advisory moved to Wednesday, but if they're Tuesday too, I couldn't do it because Dan's on that committee and we couldn't both do it.
Okay.
So that'd be my only one.
Fourth Tuesday.
May I make a motion, please? That if Tuesday, the fourth Tuesday is available, according to the town via Pam, that we vote to move our meetings to the fourth Tuesday of the month.
I second that motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
I would just add to that to just check on the availability, but if it's available, I don't see why not.
Fourth Tuesday.
And that was the fourth Tuesday?
It's available.
Yes.
Or no, Wednesday.
All right,
Who seconded that?
Scott.
Scott,
I made the
thank you.
motion.
Yeah.
Scott seconded it, yeah.
So I have on here, we have the updates on the town hall signage stuff.
Hey, Bruce,
How are
hi.
you?
Got this seat just for you.
I don't know that we do, and that's something that Tony was kind of taking the point on, and I don't think he's been able to come to a meeting since
I emailed
we've
him.
moved to Wednesdays, so.
I emailed him and he said he was not looking into that.
Oh, okay.
So, has anyone else looked into anything for the sign?
We had talked about,
I did say I'd go to Kittery, and I didn't do it yet. I did say that.
Okay. I was gonna reach out to somebody, but I don't know, like, to the two websites that I looked at, needed for a bid, needed a lot more information than just me saying, hey, what's the sign cost? They wanted dimensions and, what style of sign we would want, and I don't have any of that, so.
Would the sign attach to what's out there right now? You know, that placard that we,
The one that we put things on now.
right. So,
yeah, I think what we discussed was something that could potentially fit in that framework, yeah.
right. So that's like 3 foot wide. So just to get a budget number, say it's 4 foot wide by 6 foot tall.
Or we could measure it.
Yeah,
That's what I thought, yeah.
but that's approximate. I don't think they're going to be down to inches.
But I think you have to tell them exactly what you want.
Yeah.
You have to say, is it glass? Is it, what is it?
All weather.
Well, why don't we start with, I can volunteer to take a picture of it and get the exact dimensions of that framework. And so at least we know exactly what we're working with and maybe find out if it even is a possibility for something to be sort of, the one.
Mounted there.
I mean, I haven't really seen one, an example of what we're talking about. I think other people have. But are they something that they're almost a screen that can be, mounted onto an existing, or
I don't
are
know.
these signs?
I don't know, I haven't seen
I think
anything.
it's kind of like a plasma, TV screen or something. It's like.
Would anybody like to take a field trip to Kittery? We were told that's where it is, but I've never seen it.
The ones like the ones that they were advertising, they came in like a metal frame because they were like big,
Yeah.
or they were supposed to be like sturdy outside, and then they were either like in the metal frame up on stilts, or they were in like a brick, like foundation kind of thing to hold it.
Yeah, I don't know if it can retrofit into what you already have. I feel like it probably comes in like certain sizes,
right.
and then you choose like the housing you want it in. I'm going to Derry. I believe that the theater there has one. I'm going to a show there next weekend, so I can take a look at that one, take a picture.
And would we
I
need
guess
to-
if we had a picture of, what we have existing out there now, say, do you have something that we can mount to this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That we don't need a different structure for?
And would we have to reach out to the historical committee or anything like that to get their input in any, or we're just like starting at the very beginning?
I
I would
think
say- I
before
would
you
say-
can ask permission for something, you have to show them what you're asking.
Well, yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
this would be like.
But if the
step
sign
one.
had to change, okay, then we'll reach out to
This
them.
is very preliminary.
All right.
Because I'm sure NACO goes to select board into the HTC, right?
It would go to the HTC, then to the board, right?
Okay,
Okay.
we'll go to them next, okay.
But I think Mary Page is right. It's probably going to be something that's already a unit.
I'm guessing because it's also how you program it, right? Like how things display, they're going to be standard sizes so that the programming
Right,
works
right.
as far as the display goes.
And whatever the electrical needs are
Yeah,
too.
you can probably maybe solar power.
Oh, yeah, probably. That would be good.
Maybe the one that's out here can make a trip to Swayze Park. Who knows?
Then you'd have to talk to the trustees.
Okay, and then next on here, I have the town website for the town hall application, which was back from November's minutes, I think, we talked about it. And I had reached out to Bob And he took the suggestions from the notes and I think went to Parks and Rec. And so the next step would be like a meeting for like, to make it easier for people to find, so we can get more people into the town hall. Get easier, just all of it. Let's find that application, it's right there, it's easy, no questions, that kind of thing. So hopefully more people could come in. What, did it make sense, Rick? Yeah, okay.
That's, yeah, yep. I think he described it accurately. He's already, I think he added a button to just make it easier if you want to rent out the town hall. And we're looking to create a page where Park and Rec, not only permit the town hall, but we rent out other facilities. So just trying to make all of the town rentals and facilities much easier to find the information, applications, all of that. But yes, it does sound like a meeting will be scheduled soon. He mentioned a couple members from the Arts and Culture Committee and Park and Rec to talk about that page.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a good idea. Yeah, and I think we talked about getting inventory stuff on there, you know, how many the new chairs that are there.
Yep.
Tables, so that it's like everybody knows when they're coming in, this is what's here.
Yeah,
this is
having
where
a
it goes.
description of each facility, how many people can fit, what the amenities are. Yeah, all great suggestions.
I also have increased use of town hall.
The what?
Increasing the use of town hall, like how can we do it? How can we drive people to use it, to make it good for the town?
I think the big question, Nico, do you have any update on the status of the historical assessment and future use study? Is that kind of still in the works, or has that been submitted? Do you know by chance?
I do have an update. I talked to Melissa Roy last week. The consultant is wrapping up their findings, and I believe a meeting is going to be scheduled in the very near future
Okay,
Okay.
of all the stakeholders.
okay, because I think that's, you know,
And I mean the very near future was my understanding.
okay, yeah, previous
Okay.
discussions, I think that was kind of like the big first step in,
Because they did the whole survey and, you know, different options and all that business, right?
Right.
So then-
Yeah, and Tony had sent an email to several people, I think it was in January, asking about a stakeholders meeting, and I didn't get a response, and he didn't either, so that's good to know that it's going to be coming up at some point.
And
That's what was reported to me.
too, when we have air conditioning in the town hall,
Oh, yeah.
as far as people wanting to have events there in the summer.
Yeah, I know with, you know, the survey they did, and they had lots of different options, so I guess,
For air conditioning?
yeah, you know, the architect and designer, I guess they had all different options, or what's gonna, you know, elevators, air conditioning, and so, you know, so I guess it's just a matter of like deciding what, you know, priorities are to move it forward, right?
yeah, well, I think seeing the report and having it be done is probably
Right,
what we're all waiting on
right.
to really come up with next steps.
Okay.
I mean, there are people getting back in there, there's theater events happening again, so, you know, I don't know if there's things we can discuss to, you know, promote that, hey,
Yeah.
it's open for business again, and that we've got the chairs that are there, and maybe that can, once we come up with this kind of this new landing page and a better application, then maybe the commission can work with Parks and Rec on kind of getting the word out
Yeah.
to people. So,
Yeah. All right. Anything, the next thing I have was, I was just curious about the Youth Art Month, being able to grandfather that in as a town event. That's what I have next. So I'm not really sure, because it's like an annual thing that always happens. And I know it requires insurance and like all that kind of stuff. And I don't know if that's something that, because I would hate like if I stepped back from it and didn't do it anymore, if it just didn't happen anymore. So I was hoping that would be, I don't know what the process is to make that something that Exeter always hosts.
It does.
Yeah.
So what you're asking, then, they would always have that time blocked out?
Yeah.
Same.
March would always be Youth Art Month. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Because it draws a ton of people into the building, and the local musicians get to play the kids and performances, and it's just a really big crowd.
Yeah.
I worked up there one Saturday, and I was amazed at
Yeah.
how many people come.
No, it's a great event.
Oh, yeah, it's really nice.
Nico, do you have any guidance on that? It was a arts committee backed event, and so then when they dissolved, it was just Marissa had been the point person with that committee, and then Parks and Rec and team just kind of worked together just to keep it going. But it's still, like she's saying, it's her doing it, not I think team technically.
Yeah,
Do
so
we do the
you-
application
you-
and-
Yeah, you do the application, but then, I get all the volunteers and all the artwork in all the schools and.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with her. It's something that has traditionally been more, the town working in conjunction with the school teachers, and team was just sort of helping to keep it going. So I don't know how it could, if Parks and Rec can kind of.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of reminds me of the Alewives Fest.
Yeah.
That's a conservation committee, and Kristen Murphy's spearheading that. I think we still have to follow the same process for putting in an application.
Yeah,
to reserve.
that still gets permitted. A lot of the things that happen annually, the Beer and Chili Fest, the Alewife Festival,
Yeah.
any of those things that happen annually are still permitted through Parks and Rec. So, but trying to think.
But could that month, like in the town hall gallery, like kind of be blacked out? Like this is always, I'm always worried if I'm not going to turn my application in time and someone else will already be in there. And I'm like, now what do we do? That's what I'm.
So that's a conversation, you could have with Greg and Dave as to whether, if it becomes like the Alewife Festival is a town sponsored event. So Kristen Murphy, who does it on behalf of the Concom. Dave, what are your thoughts about maybe, if you submitted the permit on behalf of Arts and Culture, would that be the same thing?
Yeah, we'd be happy to submit it and have it be like a town-sponsored event. Like you said, it still goes through the same permitting process. And I can only refer to, because it's so fresh in my mind, is the field allocation rentals and policies. Is there's a set date where we can start accepting applications, and there's a tiered system. So if there's a Parks and Rec event that has priority over other outside renters, so to your point, Marissa, if someone already put in or requested that, in that scenario, they would be bumped out. Yeah, but I would have to look into it because I'm not exactly sure on the town hall and art gallery. I don't think there's a tiered system or anything like the field allocations that we recently done.
I don't believe so, but checking back with Greg and then taking the personalities out of it, like Marissa was saying, it may not always be her, right? If you sort of structure it the same way the Alewife Festival structured, is that, town staff on behalf of the Concom, issues the permit. So it would be the same as, Dave, whoever the Parks and Rec representative to Arts and Culture would file on behalf of the Arts and Culture Commission.
Yeah,
It's taking the personalities out.
Yeah, I think making this commission a partner with Parks and Rec, I mean, that makes perfect sense because we're not really producing or organizing the event. The event is what it is. It's working in conjunction with the teachers. So that makes sense.
So the only thing I would just suggest is, because it is the town hall building rather than, outdoors where the Alewife Festival is. So Dave, just go back to Greg unless I'm missing something, but I kind of think you're right.
Yeah, we'll look into that more with the building, but certainly a great idea for us to have that be an annual event. And like we were just saying, getting the word out on the town hall and trying to get more people to come in. Yeah.
That Saturday when I worked, a lot of people obviously come from other towns too. And people would say, I didn't even know this was here.
Yeah. I met someone to sell some of the old town hall chairs, and she didn't know about those chairs until her daughter was at the art gallery for Youth Art Month.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean,
And there were other schools there asking if their students
Yeah.
could display.
We've got-
Acorn schools, yeah.
And
Yeah.
we got a couple more schools out of it
Yeah.
this time too, which was nice.
So it's a nice event and it gets a lot of people in the town hall.
yep.
Yep,
Totally.
It's for the kids.
It's for the kids.
yes.
So Marissa, can we revisit this at the next meeting and give Dave, the next couple weeks to work that out with Greg?
Yeah, that would be great. Thank you. All right. And does anyone have anything else? I had a short agenda.
Are you checking with Pam to check on that date?
Yes, I
Okay,
am.
all right. All right, just wondered.
So Nico, you said there's going to be another meeting about the town hall, about, the survey they did and, moving forward on that. When is that?
I don't know if it's been scheduled or when it's going to be scheduled, but I asked the assistant town manager last week out of my curiosity because I know it had been some time. And that's when she told me that the consultant was wrapping up their report, and she told me that something was going to be scheduled in the near future. And the impression that I got was that it was going to be sooner than later.
Okay, great.
But I don't have a date. I'm not directly involved in that.
Okay, thank you.
I do have a question, Nico. I connected with Paul Velasic a few days ago just to get a sense of what's going on in Swayze, and he said for our May 18th Team Arts Fest, he said definitely plan on them still being there and working around them like we did last year. And he said, possibly even the July Independence Fest as well. So I'm just, obviously I think it's a good idea for us to just sort of somehow get the word out just so that people can expect that, they're still going to be there, but the events are still going to happen and we're going to work around them. Obviously I'm checking in with him as team just so I can get a sense, but is there for the Arts and Culture Commission to get the word out to people so that they know that, events will still be affected by it coming into the spring? Is there a good, who's the best point person to sort of check in with to get the status on the park and how it's going to affect events?
So regarding the siphons, Paul obviously is the day-to-day person in the know. Those dates sound accurate to me from what I know.
Yep.
But it's fluid. It's ideally they'll be out of there by then if they don't hit any snafus. So I would say Paul, in terms of the siphons, Paul would be the person to stay in touch with. And then obviously, where Greg does the permitting, I'm sure he's also in touch with Paul. So regarding events, I would check in with Greg.
Okay, sounds good.
And I had a call earlier wearing my other hat as the Board of Governor for the festival. And then we talked about that as well.
Okay. Yeah, the good news is, the way it is, you can still now, people can get around it. We can still use the pavilion and the back of the park. It's just, obstacle on the road.
Nico?
Yeah, we're very, very close. Fingers crossed.
Yep.
May I ask a question relative to the Memorial Day Parade? Will we be able to come in from Newfields Road to come in and line up, or is that going to change? Because last year
How did we-
line up
How did we last year?
Anthony's.
Yeah, I would check with Paul.
I'll check with Paul then. Okay.
Yeah. My intuition is to say whatever we did last year, we'll probably have to do this year, but he'd be the one to definitely tell you that.
Okay, thank you.
He seemed certain that May 18th they'd be there.
Oh yeah,
So
Yeah.
thinking you're gonna have to do what you
Quite honestly, and this is just me, I would say June would probably be the earliest,
do. Okay.
but that's being very optimistic.
Anything else? So we'll circle back to the sign, circle back to the website, and circle back to the Youth Art Month. And we might have a stakeholder meeting coming up.
And see if we can make fourth Tuesdays.
Oh, yes,
And should
fourth
we send an
Tuesdays.
email
I'm gonna do
to
it.
everybody as well, just to make sure
Yeah,
that Todd and
yeah.
Tony can do that before we change it? And then
Yeah.
they said they-
What are you thinking, changing the dates for the meetings?
Yeah, just because Wednesdays don't work for
Okay.
Tony and Todd at all.
Okay.
So it sounds like Tuesdays are better.
Okay.
And we think there might be an opening for fourth Tuesdays of the month to do
Okay.
in here.
Because it always has to be recorded from now on, right?
Right.
Yeah.
And Nico, is it pretty much, this is the room? It is the
Wheelwright?
Wheelwright?
So you could use the wheelwright room if the Novak room is being used. I know we try to avoid that, but if need be, you can run simultaneous. So what would happen is that whatever meetings in the wheelwright isn't shown directly on TV, but it's recorded and put on the website.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
And I agree. I would before you go to Pam, I would throw the idea out to the rest of the committee members to make sure that's the date.
Okay. But everybody here, fourth Tuesday of the month
I think
can
so.
work?
Works for me.
Sure.
I think so. Are you checking right now for you?
Yeah, I'm just
Okay.
getting a sense. I mean, I think, it seemed like Tuesdays worked for people.
I think so. All right,
All the restaurants are closed on Tuesday, most of them.
maybe. All right, I don't have anything else. So,
Motion to adjourn?
yeah. Somebody have to second
Second
that?
it.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
You like hitting
Thank you
that
for
button.
tuning in to
Ew.
Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 6 and 22. Channel 6 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 8, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku. Find us on social media for extra content. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell to get notified about live streams and new content. Tune in to our platforms every other Friday to watch the Exeter Biweekly Report, with recaps of recent events, updates from town departments, and messages from nonprofits in your area. If you head to our website, exeternh.tv, we invite you to sign up to our newsletter to receive monthly updates about new content, upcoming meetings, and more. We'd like to thank you for taking the time to watch Exeter TV and hope that you tune in to our other content as well.